So with a fairly dry brush, I load a little bit of black, and just as though I was preparing to do bamboo, you'll notice the canvas is horizontal because we want to have a lot of wide sweeping arches. I'm going to pull down from the top and make some kind of rock. Rocks are fairly subjective. There are lots of different ways to do them, but anyway, you want to have some point. You can add in some details if you want, like this. Okay, from there, reload your brush with a little bit of water, making sure to keep your brush in a nice point. And then at the very tip, we want to add a little bit of black, again for contrast. And holding the brush very lightly, about a 45-degree angle, you come from here, establish a point, and come and press, and light, and press. And again, come back a little bit more. You don't want everything to originate from the same point, so start from a different point, here and then up, and crossing, and then straight. And then maybe over here, again pressing. It's important to have a difference of angles, and also nice to have an overarching feeling. Not only long trailing branches or leaves, but some short ones, very light, are also nice to put in. Okay, you don't want your composition to be overwhelmed by too many elements. Now it's time to do the petals of the orchid. So again, a lot of black. I'm making sure that my brush is in a nice point at the end. And you're thinking about where the best place would be for the orchid to appear. Somewhere where you can see it. Again, from the point, press down like you would with the chrysanthemum. The same sorts of hooks. Maybe 5. And then a few little points that represent the different parts. And then somehow we want to attach this orchid to this grouping. So maybe it attaches somewhere lightly like this. And again, we just have to insinuate. We don't have to be very obvious. Now, since this is quite a dark orchid, I may for my next one want to load my brush with a very, very light color and just a tiny bit of black at the tip for a tiny bit of contrast, so that I have different tonality. Always striving to have 5 different tones in your painting. I wouldn't want to go directly underneath it here, too symmetrical. Here's a possibility in this window, or I can pretend that it's coming from behind these different little leaves. You know, and it doesn't have to be very big, just a little insinuation, like that. Okay, maybe a little bit more detail in there. 2 is fine in a small canvas like this. If you wanted to do more, or extend, or have something more, you could do that here. Eventually you're going to want to leave space for your stamp, so maybe you would stamp your painting perhaps over here. Okay, and then if this were perhaps you wanted to add a poem, you might have a little poem coming down here, or a haiku of some kind, or maybe it would be up over here.